WeChat, for people here who haven't heard about WeChat or not familiar with us yet, WeChat is, we are the fastest growing mobile social app in the industry. And it is an all-in-one app to help people to connect and communicate and share. What makes WeChat very different from any other social messaging app, there are 3 reasons. Number 1 is because we're very user-focused. And what I mean by that is it offers a number of very innovative features for people to communicate with each other. And for example, when you add friends, not only you can add by ID with the traditional way, but also you can use many fun ways like shake, and also using like scanning QR code. And recently in our 5.2 release, you could also use it during a meeting room or at a dinner. You meet some people who have WeChat, some don't, and you could simply use one click on friend radar, and you could add all of the people there if you want. And besides all the basic communication needs, like text messaging, voice message, and group chat, it also have a number of other features like video call, walkie-talkie, and there's also social apps, social features, for example, like Moments. You could share your pictures with your friends, share your life. And second, what makes WeChat special is it's a very secure app. And we are actually the only messaging app certified by Trustee, which is a leader in the privacy protection organization. And the third reason we are, what we offer the spatial value to our users is not only it's a communication app for our users, but also it's we offer unique value to brands and charities and also like education. So all of the brands, they can use us as a platform with a feature called official account to promote themselves, to manage their customer service, and even with to connect online and offline businesses.
How long have you been in your current job at WeChat?
I've been with WeChat for about 1.5 years.
And in your current job, in charge of WeChat in the US?
I'm in charge of the partnership development in the US.
Okay, partnership development. So what do you spend your time doing then?
Mostly
What's your work day like, or your work week like?
Yeah, and it varies a lot, but my focus at this moment is to talk with the brand partners, developers, so both including the more influential brands, or also startups, small media companies, to help them to understand what unique value WeChat can bring to them. For example, yesterday I was just at Stanford where Rebecca and I met, and to talk to some professors because they want to use WeChat as a platform to improve their classroom interaction. So they could, usually they take 20 minutes in the beginning of the class to take attendance. And with WeChat now, they could just scan the QR code and take the attendance in 1 minute. And also they could facilitate classroom interaction between the professor and the students and TAs. And also some other examples, for example, like talk with the New York Fashion Week for partnerships to help them with the model casting, with the communication with the designers and their fans, something like that.
So what was the mood like? What happened on the day that the WhatsApp deal got announced? What was happening at Tencent here in the US, in your office?
Yeah, it's actually it's the proof of how of the booming and the really high potential in mobile app industry, especially the need of mobile communication, and how the mobile generation really changed the world and how people live their lives. They want everything in their hand, and including connecting, communication, and their work, and to get information, to shop. So that's what WeChat is trying to focus on, is to offer everything in one app.
And what's your background? What's your career background? How did you end up here at Tencent?
It's a very, I think I'm very lucky at Tencent at this moment and also at WeChat in the middle of the next wave of mobile internet. I grew up in China, and after I finished my university in China, I came to Silicon Valley. I finished my graduate school and worked in pharmaceutical industry, management consulting, and then started my own company. As many Silicon Valley people has something I need to check off. And then afterwards, I joined Tencent.
Okay. What's the biggest surprise or the biggest challenge you've had in your current role at Tencent? What are you working on? What are the kind of things that challenge you? Keep you awake at night? That kind of thing.
Yep. So that's a very good question. There's actually many challenges. For example, how do you? There's many. It's such a fast growth in WeChat, and there's such a great potential because we are in the beginning of internationalization. So with the very high growth, and how do we keep bringing innovative ways to serve all of our users around the world? And users' needs are changing every day. And in Tencent and WeChat, in our DNA, we are very product focused and also user experience focused. So what to do to meet users' changing needs all the time. And then the second, I would say the challenge would be how do we really offer so because we have free SDK and also free API for the developers, the gamers and brands. And so how do we bring enough resource and to really serve all of our customers' needs and to make sure that we could use WeChat to bring unique value to their users?
I'm sure there must be some good questions from the audience, so let's see some questions. Yes, right here in the middle. And if you wouldn't mind identifying yourself.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Rick Sheridan, and I'm Chinese Unicom American. And I'd like to understand how serious is WeChat about its global expansion, especially its ex-China expansion, and especially on support. I can share an anecdote that sometimes when I do a shake, I'll end up connecting with someone halfway around the world instead of maybe someone who's maybe in the US or in the Bay Area. Whereas when I'm in Shanghai, I can do a shake and there's somebody a block away or something. So how serious is Tencent on its global expansion and support?
How serious is Tencent on its global expansion?
Thank you for asking that question, and I think many of our users are wondering that too. And we are committed, we are very serious about to serve our users around the world, and we are bringing all the support we can for the users and for our brand partners too. And Tencent is in a great position to do that as well because we have been in the internet industry since 1998, and we have a very experienced team to ensure the stable, reliable service on WeChat.
Anyone else? Right here.
Do you see?
And your name, please.
Oh, Sophia Liu.
Okay.
Do you see
Sophia Liu.
challenge from what apps?
Say it again.
Do you see challenge from what apps?
Do you see challenge from what? What's that?
From WhatsApp?
WhatsApp.
I think it's a great time to be the consumer. So you have many products to choose from, and WeChat is in the middle of the growth of the mobile internet. So what we're focusing on at this moment is to provide the best possible experience on WeChat and for the users, and to in every product release we release different ways to have innovative ways for users to communicate with each other and for the brands to realize a unique impact and also very innovative, fun and cool ways for the brands to connect and engage with their users too.
Well, one last question. Yes, here in the front.
Hi, this is Vicky. And my question is, how's the growth like in US now? And what are you going to do to attract more and more users? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question. So, sure. So the question is, how we are doing in the US, and also how do we keep to attract the users and offer users different values. So at this moment, we're the beginning of the internationalization, and we see a very high growth in the user base. Also, how do we attract the users? For example, in I'm constantly impressed by our product team and how they are, how much they focus and commit on the user experience. And every small product release, I see impressive ways, and they constantly impress me and also all of our millions of users. For example, in the recent 5.2 release, and we have a feature. Users can share their real-time location sharing. When you are for example, your friends are going to meet at dinner, before the dinner, a group of people can share your location so everyone can see how far along to the restaurant. And then after the dinner, if your boyfriend or girlfriend are worried about their safety, you can also track where they are while they're going home on the way, and also at the same time, you can use the walkie-talkie function to keep connected with them.
So how much communication and how much autonomy does the U.S. office have from Shenzhen? How much independence do you have from Shenzhen?
Yeah, our Shenzhen, very fortunately, our headquarters, they trust our judgment on the local culture and user behavior. So we decided the strategy and also what more we can offer to the users.
And is the strategy a lot different in the U.S. than it would be in China?
It's different in all the countries, and so it depends on the country, and the users have different needs, and also the brands have different needs too.
Okay. What's the biggest difference, would you say?
What's the biggest difference?
For example, in China, so China at this moment, it is the most social-driven internet world in the world. And by a recent research, it shows that over 90% of Chinese internet users, they have been on a social media platform over the last month. And maybe about 70% in Japan, and less in the United States, actually. So how people use social media is different too. So how do we tailor the product and also especially the platform to the users' needs in the US will be a little bit different.
Okay. Yes, a question here in the front.
From China Daily.
From China Daily, yeah.
So how many users do you have in the United States? Can you share some specific figures about your user base here and differences between?
How many users do you have in the US?
Globally, between WeChat and Weixin, we have over 500 million users. And in the outside of China, we have over 100 million users. And because we're at the very beginning of internationalization, so we actually don't disclose the country-specific data.
Yeah, you can ask that question again next year. Okay, yes.
I'm curious whether you are competing head-to-head with Line in Japan or KakaoTalk in Korea.
Are you competing with Line in Japan?
We are, because we are in our footprint. We are in Southeast Asia and also South America, Africa. We all have very strong footprint, and so every country we try to offer the best product for the users there.
Okay.
And we respect our competitors too, and we just commit to offer the best product.
All right, well, Victoria will be staying around during the reception, so we can ask her more questions then. But let's give Victoria